This week on TGC News, Remington gets another at-bat, Walther and Winchester do things, and training meets gambling. In this week's NotAReview. The Connect QD M-Lock mounts from Kinetic Development Group offer the fastest and simplest way to get your M-Lock attachments securely fastened to your gun. Available in 5 different flavors, including 3 and 7 slot Picatinny, 45-degree offset, and more. You can bet that they're gonna have what you need. And guys, you know the drill. To get 10% off your entire order, use the code TGC10 at kineticdg.com. Welcome back to the only gun news show that covers the things that you actually care about, TGC News. My name is Jon Patton. Just a quick reminder, Wednesday night, that's November 2nd, Adam and I will be doing a live Q&A on the TGC YouTube channel at 9 p.m. Eastern. Come ask us absolutely anything you want and hang out with us. Also, the first batch of orders of the TGC hoodies, long sleeves, new version of the Guntrepreneur, and all that stuff is now shipping from the TGC Gear Store. Go check that out. Now, this week's first story is about Remington. Besides the R1, which no one really seems to care about, Remington has had a rough time over the last couple years, and it revolves around the R51. Remington hyped it up, even paid off some writers to help get that hype up, and then it fell flat on its face when everyone realized that the gun didn't work. They did a recall and just recently re-released the gun out into the public, and reports are that it still doesn't work right. That being said, for some reason, Remington thought it was a good idea to release a full-size polymer frame striker-fired pistol series called the RP in both 9mm and 45 ACP. I mean, why fix something when you can distract everyone with something new, right? So what makes the RP special or different? Besides the fact that it looks like a Walther PPQ had a love child with a few other popular guns, it's got one of the largest capacities from a factory magazine that I've seen in a long time. Coming in at 15+1 in 45 and 18+1 in 9, that's certainly a very good trait to have. The biggest thing that drew me to this, though, the speculated price point. I heard a bunch of different numbers and every single one of them was under $500. To me, a gun like this has potential to compete with FNs and HKs if it's good enough, let alone Glocks and M&Ps, especially at that price point. This could be huge for Remington. Given their checkered past with handguns though, I'll wait until it gets into the hands of someone I trust before I run out and grab one. What do you guys think? Are you going to be picking one of these up? Let me know down below. And on hashtag NotAReview, the segment where I take a product and give you guys a hands-on spotlight, we're taking a closer look at the Dead Man's Hand cards and IQ targets from RE Factor Tactical. The basic idea is that each one of the cards has a drill on it that corresponds with a segment on the IQ target, and you kind of race to see if you can beat your own time or beat your friends and make your training a lot more interesting. Honestly, the best possible way for me to show you this is to show you some clips from a series called The Weekly Drill Down that's put together by my friends at 4 Guys Guns. Here's a quick clip.
The Weekly Drill Down, where we put 2 guys against each other in head-to-head competition. Using RE Factor Tactical's IQ targets and Dead Man's Hand training cards, we use a timer to help keep it fair-ish. And you can't just be fast, you have to be accurate. Taxed a full second for every miss. But before we go any further, let's jump into some range safety rules.
Stand by.
5.98. Oh God, this is gonna hurt you so much.
Every week they draw a card, do the drill, red for rifle, black for pistol, with the lower numbers being easier and the face cards being harder. This is probably one of the most fun ways to get training at the range because it adds a bit of friendly competition to your routine. One of these days I'm going to take my rear end up to New Hampshire to compete against those two, but for now you can head over to refactortactical.com to learn more about the cards and the target. To see more product spotlights, check out the NotAReview playlist on YouTube. And in no, I swear it's different news, Walther has announced a new 9mm pistol called Creed. Essentially, it's a melted version of the PPX. The biggest question with this thing isn't really why does it exist, because at $399 MSRP it's solid value for money, but rather the question on everyone's mind is why change the name to Creed? I mean, Scott Stapp being awful aside, the gun looks pretty good. Compared to the PPX, the hard lines have all been kind of rounded on the back of the slide, as well as on the trigger guard and a couple other places. Other than that, it's pretty much the same old gun. Why not just call it the PPX Gen 2? I don't really understand. You did it with the PPQ. I couldn't begin to tell you the reasoning behind this, but someone at Walther actually got paid to change that name. Doesn't make any sense. And because that story wasn't long enough for this week's show, I'm shoving more in here for you guys. Winchester has announced the beginning of a new video series called Winchester Life. I know you're super excited and totally not yawning yet. Stick with me here. Winchester Life is the brand's first ever all-digital series. That's right, this is not going out on TV. Why does that matter? Well, let me give you some perspective. About 5 years ago, the big advertising dollars in the gun industry were being spent on print media and television. And since then, print media has tanked significantly to the point where some brands are literally cutting every single dime they spent on print media, and they're focusing that same dollar on digital media and television. Well, as on-demand style content like YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, and similar outlets continue to gain viewer attention, the value proposition for television actually starts to die off. Is it dead? Not at all. Just like print media isn't completely dead yet. But the fact that a brand like Winchester is investing thousands upon thousands of dollars for a series of videos like this says to me that times are changing. What does this mean for you guys at home? Well, here's the thing. It means that as time goes on, you will see bigger and better online content coming from major brands, both from the brands themselves and outlets like The Gun Collective. This is a very, very positive thing, boys and girls. Now, be sure to stick around for a friendly fire question about 380 ammo.
The Transformer rail from Manticore Arms offers unparalleled versatility for both the AR-15 and now AK platform rifles. This free-floating rail system allows you to attach both M-LOK and key mod segments, Picatinny rail segments, as well as a host of other options. You can bet that almost any attachment will work. Available in OD green, flat dark earth, and of course black, this lightweight setup might be just what you need. To get 10% off anything you buy, use the code TGC10 at manticorearms.com.
This week's friendly fire question is from Scott Zabla. Zabla? Scott Zabla. He's on Instagram and he says, with the current supply and demand type economy we have, do you see 380 ACP ever getting cheaper than 9mm, or will 9mm surpass the 380 in price? That's a very interesting question. My opinion is that no, we will not see 380 be cheaper than 9mm, because 9mm is vastly more popular and therefore the demand for production is increased and the race to the bottom of pricing begins. In order for the scale of 9mm versus 380 ammo costs to shift, the demand for the two cartridges would have to shift drastically, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. My friendly fire question to you guys this week. I actually asked the same question about this time last year. What kind of content would you like to see from TGC? Perhaps you want us to do full reviews, perhaps you want to see some more like shooting videos and like gun porn and that kind of stuff, and perhaps you just want it to stay the way it is. I don't know why you would want that, but maybe you do. I want to hear your opinion down in the comments below. And if you want your question answered right here on TGC News, you can head over to theguncollective.com and send me a message on the Friendly Fire page. And unfortunately, that is it for this week's show. Guys, you know what to do. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button and share it with your friends. If you didn't enjoy it, let me know down in the comments so we can have a conversation about it. Do not forget to get subscribed. You won't want to miss a single week of the show. Be sure to go check out the new TGC swag on the TGC Gear Store. And as always, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon.
The shirts worn in today's episode of TGC News were provided by Patriot Patch Company. Click the link in the description to learn more.